This video is going to walk you through creating the door schedule, which is very similar to how we created the window schedule, but it is a little bit different. So let's take a look in Revit. There's actually a couple of details about the doors that I want to make sure are correct before I go about making the door schedule. With the windows, we were using the exact models for the real house, and so we imported those models, and a lot of the correct info and visual appearances came with it. With the doors, we are using placeholders for the most part. We're making the doors the right size, but these aren't the right type, and we aren't able to download the BIM models for the correct type. So we at least want to get things looking visually accurate. So in your floor plan, you should have created, either selected the different door types or created custom types in order to set the widths to the appropriate size. And we need to also be able to distinguish between our interior and exterior doors. You can see here that I've gone ahead and taken this main front door and modified the appearance so that it looks like it is the same white vinyl appearance that the windows have. And I want to do that to this other exterior door too. The problem is I've got a bunch of this type of door in my project. So I need to differentiate between the interior ones and the exterior ones. If I select just that exterior one and I click Edit Type, I can create a duplicate of this type, and I can simply rename it 32 by 80 exterior. And now any changes that I make to this one won't affect the other ones. I can change the panel material from the birch wood look that we're using on the inside to the same white vinyl appearance that was used on the windows. So I'll select that one, and then the metal door frame, same thing. Gonna switch that to the vinyl white appearance. And now I was able to change just that door without changing all the rest of them. I'm going to leave the rest of these pretty much alone, even though these are, kind of commercial doors. These look like something you'd find in a medical office. They're good enough for the point we're trying to convey here in this project. What I do want to do is go through each set of doors and make sure that they have the correct function. So under Edit Type, the first option here under Parameters is Function. And I want to make sure that my interior doors are set to interior and that my exterior doors are set to exterior. I think the default for this door type is exterior. Now let's take a look at the door schedule that is pre-populated in the Revit project. So if I scroll down to Schedules and I open up the door schedule, this is the schedule template that's sort of pre-populated in the project. And this is definitely not what I want. Again, looking back at the example plans, we're going to simplify this a lot. I want to make sure I have the correct columns in here. I'm looking for type mark, description, which actually I'm going to change this to function, looking for the type of door, the count of each type, and then custom columns for rough height and rough width. So back to Revit, if I click on the Edit Fields button, on the right are all the fields that are in here. I want to add to this all the fields that I want in my actual door schedule. So here we go. And then just like I did with the window schedule, I'm going to create new custom parameters for the rough height and the rough width because I want to be able to manually edit these values. Now I'm going to remove all of the other fields that I don't want in my schedule. So this should look a lot simpler now. Everything's in the order that I want it to be. So I don't need to reorder it. You might need to reorder. I'll click OK. And just like that, I've got a much simpler looking door schedule. So the first column, type mark, is supposed to correspond to the tags in the floor plan. I haven't created the tags yet, so let's do that now. Under Annotate, I can click Tag All, and I can select door tags from the list. When I do that, it's going to just apply all of the tags. But there's a little bit of a problem with this. A lot of these doors are exactly the same door type, but the tags each have unique individual numbers in them. That's because these door tags are not displaying the type mark. So if I edit this family for the door tag, I can see what it's actually showing me. I'll select that text, I'll click edit on the label, and I can see that it's giving me mark. Mark is different for each individual instance of door. I want to instead show the type mark. So I'm going to take mark out of here. I'm going to select type mark from the list, and I'm going to insert that one instead. Click apply OK, and now I will load this into my project and close it. So now what we should see is doors of the same exact type sharing the same tag. Now, you probably need to do a little bit of rearranging just to make sure that these tags are not overlapping other stuff. Definitely make things readable. And you may need to renumber certain things just to make this make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense for us to have for us to be jumping from number 8 to number 27, 28, 30. So try to get these all on the same page. If you click on a door, you can click edit type, and you can scroll down a bit to find the value for the type mark, and you should be able to manually change this to the correct number based on the example plans. Now if we go back to the door schedule, the type mark column is showing all the types that I have. I'd like to sort by this column. So under sorting and grouping, I'm going to sort by type mark, and I'm going to uncheck the box to itemize every instance so that it condenses this down to just the list of individual door types. I should have these labeled as either exterior or interior based on their function. I can tell that my side door here is set to interior, so I'll make sure that that is exterior. And I should now see 2 types of exterior doors here. Good. Now the type column itself should just be telling me the dimensions of the door. Really, it's giving me the name of the door type. So for our closet doors, the name is really lengthy. It would be okay here to change the name of each of these door types to something a lot simpler like what's seen here in the example plans, just simply the dimensions of the different bifold doors. The count for each of these should already be accurate. The rough height and rough width you should manually type in. Now the rough height is going to be just an inch taller than the door is itself, and the rough width is going to be 2 inches wider than the door's width, so that we're leaving an inch of space all the way around the door in the opening. Once we have the door schedule fully populated, you can open up the title drawing sheet, the cover sheet, and you can find that door schedule that we've created, and you can bring that in and line it up with the window schedule so it all displays nicely. Take the time to reformat this, make the columns the right width, make them readable so that text like this is not getting cut off and bumped down. Make everything display correctly.